Shalom, Rainicorns. It is Ellie, the Empress here. My apologies for anyone who was waiting in real time. I just got off a stream talking about something very, very similar to what I'm going to be discussing today. And much gratitude to Divine Lee Artist for allowing me on his platform and the after effects of what's going to happen after these types of conversations. Much gratitude. Shalom, brother. So, listen. After what happened yesterday on my stream, it's entitled My Heart Hurts. I was intentionally gang stalked in a certain type of way that made me see not only is all this stuff intentional, no one wants this stuff to end. And when I say no one, I mean no one in the proper leadership positions want this type of stuff to end. The death of Marcellus Williams was a prime example of the fact that most of these things simply have not changed, will not change, if certain people continue to acquiesce or allow situations to persist through being passive. Oh, well, that's just the way the world works, or oh, well, it's been like this forever, or that's been happening. Okay. Is that not an issue? Oh, it's good. I just so like I mentioned, much gratitude to Divine Lee Artist. He said, "What's good, sis? What's good? What's good?" Like I said, what's going to be happening after these conversations is very real. He touched on it in a perspective of being from the inside as a school educator. I'm speaking on it from not necessarily the outside, being an educator myself for my own personal child and an online educator. There are systems in place to intentionally stop us from relaying the messages in the way that they need to be relayed. Yesterday, had I engaged with my comment section how I normally do, as y'all saw, someone comment, I reply, that sort of thing, I would have been completely distraught. I wouldn't have been able to communicate properly. When Wortman, so hey goddess, what's great, what's great, much gratitude for being a trillionaire entity. Memberships are available, y'all. The link is in the description to get access to even more of the information that I'm talking about. Had I engaged with my comment section that way yesterday, oh my gosh, I was already an emotional wreck. I was expressing the death of one of my brothers. I read that his last words were essentially giving all praises to the Most High. He was Muslim, so he mentioned the name Allah. For those to be his last words, that just tells you where his mind was, where his heart was. He could have said anything. He could have said something against racism. He could have said something against racists. He could have said something against the system. He decided to give all praises to the Most High. We don't need any more of our brothers going out like that. We don't need any more innocent individuals facing the justice system with no hope, because that wasn't seemingly no hope. He had over 1 million people behind him in places high and low, and things still turned out the way that they did. So what we are doing, the individuals that I'm connecting with at this point, those who you can see, those who you don't know about, okay? What we are doing is making sure that situations like this never happen again. And I mean ever. This isn't some speech that I'm trying to give to go viral for views. And Divine Lee said 100 because it's period. This actually is the least popular content because I'm not a performative activist. I'm a real activist. I'm someone who goes on the ground. I don't film every single thing, and I don't film more than I produce. What does that mean? I do not film hypothetical ideas for the sake of, there's nothing wrong with being a thought leader. I believe it's more important to be an exemplary, someone who provides an example of how to be rather than a hypothetical philosopher of sorts. How about the people, I'll just even use this as an example. On Divine Lee's stream, he talked about how he was in business school getting his degree for entrepreneurship. And the teacher had a degree, but never had a business. We actually need to stop that. We need to stop allowing teachers to teach things that they have no experience in. We need examples being the teachers. We need people who have been in the shoes of the student to be the teachers. That's not just what I believe, that's what I do. This is not a hypothetical. This is not something, oh, what if this and what if that? No, I live this. When I say garden, grow your own food, when I say go off grid, when I say, and when I will expand upon what I mean by go off grid, because there's this weird definition that people have given it, and it is not what I was talking about. When I say homeschool your children, I mean that. When you have individuals who are public school educators who teach the children whose parents do not have the ability or know-how to teach their own children. Both are needed. We need more homeschool kids with parents who genuinely can do that, and we need more public, well, not more public, but we need public school teachers. Well, yeah, more public school teachers who care about the educational system, who can implement these usable, applicable curriculums for students, rather than punching grades in and issuing out report cards. We got 4 viewers and 4 likes. Gratitude, y'all. Divinely said, judges with no comprehension of morals. Ooh. 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 Make sure you put that on a t-shirt. Make sure you put, I'll screenshot it and send it to you. I'll make sure you get this one on a t-shirt. What? Oh my gosh. He said, judges with no comprehension of morals. Now we need a moment of silence for that one. Put that on a t-shirt. And I'm not saying that to be funny, y'all. He actually is an entrepreneur and has his own apparel company. He creates his own, whether it's, I know for a fact it's t-shirts, but I'm pretty sure there's more items as well. So he could actually like press that on a shirt or intertwine it with a shirt, embroider it, whatever design he decides to do. He could put that on a shirt. Because what? Why do we have people in positions that they have no passion behind? It makes no sense. I actually wrote an essay on this. I'll get to that in a moment. About people being in places and positions that they have no passion behind. We need to stop that. Whatever your gift, talent, passion is, that's what you need to do as a career. When Wortman with the 100, because period. That's what it is. So I'm going to read this to y'all first, and then we're going to get into what I want to happen behind Marcellus Williams. What's happening right now is a lot of people are getting into politics, and I will talk more about that after I read this, okay? So I read this on Divinely Stream, and this is the most important chapter that I speak about in my book. So this is my book, Bird Dog Real Estate. Everyone could and should own real estate. There's a link to it in my description bio area of my profile. This is important. This is so important. Chapter 4, Family Soul Purpose. The nuclear and blended family dynamic is the pinnacle of generational wealth. The father produces values and systems. The mother or mothers instill those values and systems in the children. The children carry on the legacy. While we recognize financial literacy, we comprehend that wealth is more important than managing finances well. Wealth is also living the sole purpose and fulfilling the mission of the divine. Loving your family is always keeping the Most High God first in all endeavors. Living righteously is a lifestyle that your family learns from you. Instill great principles and wealth will follow. The BDRE Homeschool Kit is also here to help you connect with your family more while you learn about wealth creation and management. Was there any numbers mentioned or business strategies or information involved in there? No. You need to talk with your family about what y'all believe in. We see in real time what's happening to rich people right now. They weren't moral. Where were the morals? Otherwise, they wouldn't be facing the lawsuits that they're facing. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not trying to get the algorithm triggered. I can't do it right now. I really can't do it. I want to stay focused and not have weirdos get in the comment section. Y'all know who I'm talking about, though. People in the, I'll say, the entertainment music industry, okay, facing lawsuits, had they had morals, they wouldn't be facing those types of lawsuits, okay? Divine Lee said passion and purpose. Passion and purpose. What did God call you to do? What are you naturally talented in? No, I'm so serious. Because, man, say the wrong thing. It happened yesterday. I'm trying to stay focused. No. Divinely said LMAO for real, the oiler. Oh my God, no. So, it happened to me yesterday, though. Bunch of weirdos spam my comment section. It made no sense. And when we talk about things like education, people just think kids need to learn the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and how to add 1 + 1 and 2 + 2. Education is everything. Education would have prevented certain people, I'll admit, certain people from ending up in the Oilers situation had they been less naive and been more educated in certain things. Whether he did certain things to affect their finances directly or affect how they're seen in the media for their career, they would not have been controlled by the individual because they would have had more autonomy because of their own personal education rather than believing this person to do so much for them because of their lack of education. This isn't just about little kids. We see grown people. Like, it's just so crazy because I did not know. Honestly, Lee, I thought that you had already did the stream and I thought I missed it because you had did the poll of who wants to see a stream like that where people can have conversations and stuff. I was really excited for it and I thought I missed it. I had already scheduled to do this stream and then I saw you live and I was like, nah, I gotta jump on. I gotta have conversation about this because, like, first of all, I thought I missed it. Then I saw it and I was like, I'm already finna go live about this topic anyway because this is so much. We had a real life example of someone who did not have very good comprehension skills. His video title was very, very plain, very, very simple, talking about the educational system. So someone like right now, right? If they were to join my stream and they be confused on the topic at hand because it's titled Marcellus Williams and then they're hearing me talk about the educational system, I'd expect confusion and I wouldn't mind elaborating to give further clarification because I, shock value, clickbait sort of thing. It's not clickbait in a negative way. It's just, what do we need to do as a culture behind the situation? So if someone was to be confused and have their own thoughts in the comment section, it would actually make logical sense. His situation didn't make no sense. I'm talking about Lee had a whole video presentation and that was also titled The Educational School System. He was already talking about how he's a teacher and how he experiences students on his own. And then you had some person talking about the Bible is not bad. Talking about the Bible completely out of context is actually demonic. This is where, I don't mind speaking on these things. I even talk about the occult on this channel, so I can elaborate on this. It's actually demonic to spread rhetoric that is distracting from a topic at hand. If scriptures have been brought up about, how about a great one? Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. If that person brought up the Bible in that context, would have been beautiful. Would have been a great conversation to elaborate on and apply to the topic at hand, which is education. That person came in talking about idolization and Jesus Christ, and I'm like, oh gosh. But that's a prime example of someone who does not have very good comprehension skills. There's so many other Christian streamers. There's so many even Hebrew streamers that person could have commented on and joined their live stream to have a conversation about, whether it's debating or to provide insight. That was not one. There was no religious, spiritual context to the conversation we were having. We are believers of Yasharallah. We do believe that our people, the ones who have this texture hair and this skin color and darker, some lighter, of course, we are the believers that we are the children of God. Ye are God's children of the Most High. Okay, we know that we're God's children. That was not the topic at hand. We're trying to help the other children, the ones that came after us. So when you see in real time that a lot of adults struggle with things like having comprehension skills and critical thinking skills, it goes to show you just how bad it is for the current children, because those people are someone's parents. Those types of people are someone's parents, someone's uncle, someone's big cousin that they're around a lot, and they don't think well. They're talking, they were able to get on a stream and talk to a person. Were they able to hold a conversation? No. Me and Lee talked for like 2 hours unexpectedly. When most of the time when you do a stream, you expect to, talk for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes or something at max. We talked for almost 2 hours. That person was up there maybe 5 minutes and couldn't add to the depth of what we were talking about. We're parents. Someone shouldn't have to be a parent to have compassion for the education system. Everyone is going to be affected by the education system. Everyone who comes from the educational system will eventually be an adult and a functioning member of society. It's like people forget that. Let me go ahead and read those comments, though. I'm kind of going in. I'm still tripping. That man said the oiler. Can I pin that other comment, though? Hold on. Oh, no, I can only pin my comments. I was going to pin that quote. But okay. Free Thinker said, just got in. Yep. Rip to the chat yesterday. The chat yesterday was insane. For the music industry, who's next after this era? If the others are getting jailed and eradicated, Soulja Boy, Plies, Nelly, Chris Brown, all of them were the first bracket. Now we have Sexy Red in them. So I just wonder who's going to sell out next to break another Gen SMA. So it's not about selling out in the way that, that the weird stuff. I'm one of the artists. I'm just saying. And then there's a lot of, look, man, you got to look into Hebrew rappers. Oh my gosh. The Hebrew artists, they're so amazing. And then you have a lot of really cool Christian rappers. Then you got the conscious rappers and different music artists, even if it's not rap or hip hop. They're like, the only thing we're missing is soul music. We're missing like soul music that is for this generation, that's not super religious. That's the only thing we're missing. But you look into the different spaces of our people, everybody was just distracted by sacral chakra, sexual type of things to listen to. The ones who are speaking about righteousness and it sounds good, oh my gosh, we're the ones. To answer your question and to be real about it, it's going to be centered in a totally different way than it was before. I don't want to be looked at as a celebrity that's just famous for music. This channel and my other channel for my personality and stuff, but this channel in particular, my real estate platform, that's what I want to bring attention to with my music. I want to help people. So by reaching out with my music and getting, people are going to be fans of me, but they need to be fans of themselves, which is what I'm teaching through my music. And that's what so many others teach through their music. And this sounds great. It's like amazing. So yeah, to answer your question, still going to be online. I'm not going to be online in 2025. Not in 2025, no. But, Lee said sowing discord, Con. Yes, absolutely. Just sowing discord and trying to cause an argument of some sort. LOL, hope I handled and modeled my response righteously. You 100% did. You absolutely did. Music is a form of education too. Tap into the channel. I got your soul vibes. Oh, you do make music too. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of, really, it's going to be the underground artists not being underground artists anymore. Because the industry was controlled in such a way, it just would not allow people to break through like that. But now, with the fall of the industry, the rise of independence and people managing themselves, that's what's going to take over. But yeah, to answer that last question, no, I'm not going to be online in 2025. I have to handle a lot of things, including what the topic is today for the education system. So I'm going to be reading a few things. Also, this is my ebook, hashtag New Age Investing. There's a matching homeschool kit for it. It's also in the description bio area of my channel. Let's see, what are we going to read today? Derivatives. Oh gosh. Okay, that seems kind of random, but I am being guided to read it as I did turn to it. So it's chapter derivatives. Okay. Alternatives. This is on page 43. Traditional banking has proven time and time again that the best interest of the company is not the customer. The best interest of the companies isn't even the investors. The best interest is for the bank owners. This has been repeatedly done in an unrighteous way. Alternate and pivot. We know that banking and money holding is necessary as our society is going cashless. It's vital for us to research the banks and credit unions we utilize versus trusting that popular financial institutions will work on behalf of the account holder. We must treat money holding systems like investments instead of primary wealth holders. It is wise to keep base expenses stored in the bank. Using loans and credit are of no financial risk, so credit cards and credit lines are, quote, safe to use with the bank. Investing in passive income tools and retirement funds is wise to store wealth. Buying appreciating assets is wise to store wealth. Buying precious metals, real estate property, and useful sellable items will store wealth in liquid form. So, if you would like to read the rest of that chapter and everything else that I have to say in here, that is linked in my description area. So what the heck does that mean? That means that learning about basic business stuff isn't even enough anymore. Everybody can start a business. With these systems crashing, we need to know what the systems were. So that makes sense now why I was turned to that particular chapter. Look up the word derivative. These institutions, including the music industry, entertainment industry, and everything, they were controlled by, we see faces like the oiler, right? We see these faces, but they're controlled by entities that don't have a soul. So you have a derivative market. It's not even a stock market. It's above the stock market. So you got the average person who barely knows how to use a bank. They don't know what they don't have a full concept of the stock market itself, let alone know what a derivative is. That's why I'm intentionally teaching it to our people. Hearing this stuff in the news, and they'll just say words like that and not really elaborate on what it is and what's causing it and blah, blah, blah. That's how a lot of things go over our heads. Because you hear it in the news, but you don't know what it means. So by doing certain types of research that's at the top, quote unquote, then it's better to explain that to your children, and then they know what's going on, and then everyone has a more comprehensive aspect of living in these types of situations versus being controlled by them out of ignorance. My people suffer for a lack of knowledge. If we're going to use the Bible. I'm sorry. That whole situation was, it was so crazy. Divine Lee said the fall of all industries. Absolutely. Judicial, educational, governmental, etc. Freethinker said, are godchildren ever going to be in control of what music is distributed on the network? In Space Jam 2, they showed us Don Cheadle, the black guy, as the one who control what's uploaded, but in real life it's the opposite. LOL. Nah, I want to see who's behind the curtains, whether they're black or white. Why they so afraid that we can't see them? Divinely artist that we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wickedness in high places. Exactly. So going back also to the guy controlling everything depending on race, it's like this, right? We have coons, people who are our people, but they work on the side of the oppressor. And then you have the oppressor who unfortunately still has some sort of way of oppressing. They work together. It's just like the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz wasn't even a wizard. He was just good at technology. He could have been a technologist, some cool inventor. He decided to lie and say he was a wizard, a magician. Why do we have illusions casted everywhere? If you're going to do something, be honest about it. Saying you're a wizard and saying that you're a magician is not okay when you're smart technologically. Just own that. What was the purpose of lying and keeping up a facade if you're brilliant in some other way? That makes no sense. Let me get this first. So essentially what happened on Lee's stream is we were building an actual building. I'm sick of y'all getting on the internet pretending like you're building and saying you're building and you're just not. I'm not even going to get into detail about what y'all do. But I have brought up some topics of discussion because Lee asked the real questions. What are the solutions, right? So I answered and I said what it is that I am doing currently in real life time. Hold on. I think it's going to be over here. Okay, I think this is it. Here we go. So this particular piece is called Occupation Order, Caring Career Choices and Certifications. You can look in the link in the description and you can find the blog, and this is available for free, so you can read the entire thing for free. And if you would like to purchase the entire essay, then the prices are mentioned there, okay? Voodoo economics is true economics. Despite speculation that all or majority of business owners desire to take advantage of employees, it remains true that if the company does well overall, that employees also benefit. The trickle-down effect, otherwise known as voodoo economics, is shunned upon at times due to lack of transparency in company culture. Discussions such as these only exist, however, due to corporate greed and unfulfilled career paths. When focus is shifted from profits, cutbacks, and layoffs to personality and natural gift alignment, the passion behind the worker creates a more generous being, which translates into company culture. Follow your passion is a phrase that is often used yet rarely followed, okay? So I have written an entire piece about this. You can obtain it on my blog, and it is linked in the description box as well. So Lee asked, what actions are being taken? What is happening to implement these changes? And I read also an email that I sent to one of the political figures that I have met in person. I'll show y'all. I met them recently. That is me holding my book with them. So, it's educational innovation with entrepreneur-based curriculum. And I put real estate. I said, great day. I am Tiara Elise Hatley and recently met with County Commissioner at the Memphis Muslim Chamber of Commerce networking event for entrepreneurs on August 24th, 2024. As an author and entrepreneur, I expressed how those who are Generation Y and Z can learn ways to start their own businesses, specifically in the real estate investment space. My recently published book shares how to get started in the industry, along with the technological advancements happening as shared by President Joe Biden in 2022 with Executive Order 14067. So continuing on, the actionable steps that I was talking about on the stream earlier was I'd like to implement my book into the school system and libraries, along with sharing my curriculum with teachers to share with students about entrepreneurship. And that's something I've been working on. I told her that in person. I told the entire space that it was a networking event. Everyone was aware of my declaration that I kind of made on the fly. I knew that I wanted to share my book in the school system, but I was not expecting to be in a space where I'm transforming my homeschool curriculum into something that can be implemented at the public schools. So I said that, and I also have it on paper, well, in black and white, rather, saying that I said that, right? Well, gratitude, much gratitude. Yes, because it's got to change. It's got to change. That's why I named this video It Ends Now. This ends now. Because, that whole situation made no sense. And also, added with that, he was Muslim. And I stated that at the Muslim Chamber of Commerce in my hometown. So, it doesn't even matter what anyone believes or what someone's religion is. We're all looked at the same. We're all looked at the same. We all have to work together in some sort of way. We can discuss doctrine later. We can discuss personal beliefs in our homes. Actually, we don't even have to discuss it amongst each other too much. if it's going to make people uncomfortable. As long as people are moving in righteousness, that's all that matters for us to be free in this environment. Freethinker said OG said that as well, flesh and blood. That's a Bible scripture. Divinely Artist said The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, that movie has a lot of deep meaning about society and the way we communicate and interact. Freethinker said, people tired of being tricked. I know I am. Like Fastos from Eternals cast. Okay, I don't think I watched that. Divinely said the placebo effect of these people who have degrees. I know you probably didn't mean for that to be as funny as it is to me, but he said the placebo. I'm finna cry. Wow, the placebo effect of people. Oh my gosh. Let me focus. The placebo effect of these people who have degrees. Freethinker said, cool, Ellie. Divinely said, they are doing that in the perverted way by giving platforms and putting people in position of power whose personality is colorful. Dang. That's real, and I can't agree. Freethinker said, do you have credentials, degrees? It's crazy. I've learned more than I ever did at home than in school that contributed to my soul versus their system, LOL. No, I don't have a degree at all. That's the thing. I took college classes and passed it with flying colors when I was in high school, but I realized education is more than just an institution. It's what you do on a daily basis. A lot of people get certified and whatever, and then they stop reading. They stop educating themselves. They just live in the placebo effect of having an education versus continuing their education and personal development. I learned everything I learned without a degree. I was able to close deals on houses. I was able to start a business. I was able to make money without having a degree. I was able to build this platform without a degree. I was able to build my other platforms without a degree. I just spend time on YouTube, spend time on blogs, spend time buying books, courses, all that outside of the traditional education system. There's a whole bunch of ways to educate oneself without that. And we know this because, like you said, you learn more at home than in school, because the stuff because this is what I'm gonna get to in a few. More solutions for the students in schools. What we discussed on Lee's stream was how I said that math word problems can be used in every context versus just math, how things can be broken down for every subject matter rather than creating some weird, unrealistic word problem, expecting a child to solve it and they just learn the skill of math when that can be related to every single thing. So I'm gonna read y'all's comments and then elaborate on that. When I'm telling you, that was hilarious. DJ Holiday TV 414 said, our folks will never come together. They're scared to die for freedom. The babies are the last hope. Well, I don't like what your comments contradictory. You said 3 sentences that completely contradict each other. You're correct. The babies are the last hope, and that's what it is we're doing. We're directly affecting the children of the future. I'm homeschooling. Y'all see the way I talk and the way I communicate. So my son is by default learning my rhetoric and learning the way that I move and operate. That whole thing about folks will never come together. Okay, let's be real about it. Let's go back to the Bible. Moses and Aaron and them. It took them 40 years to get to the promised land when they could have got there in a few months or something. Because the elder generation was on bullshit. Excuse my language or whatever. But if we're going to have children dying in school, Winder, Georgia, all the way back to Columbine. If we're gonna have children dying in school, if I'm using profanity and that hurts somebody's feelings, somebody's priorities are out of order. Somebody's priorities are out of order. We have what's necessary. In Lee's stream, he showed that there was $15.8 billion put into the educational system over the past, it was some period of time. I forgot the exact time period. Just for them to get curriculums that don't even make sense. And then they tried to play and use an example math problem that was, it was so coded. The math equation was 333 minus 144. So I was like, why they got an angel number up there subtracting the 144,000 from it? It was so coded. It was so coded. Okay, since 2008, right, because they said Obama and Bill Gates. $15.8 billion into the educational system since 2008. And things have gotten worse. So that mentality of our people will never come together is because the elders that are in charge have that mentality and don't want to come together for the sake of their own children. That's been the problem the whole time. How are the children going to be the answer when children can't do anything for themselves? They have to be taught by somebody. We got a bunch of rebels nowadays. That's good and terrible at the same time. You have young people, we call them YNs. Some of us, you see it on social media and in real life. You got a lot of YNs that don't care about nothing. They don't care about nothing. They'll do anything just because. They see how everybody's acting and it does not matter to them. You have those who are similar to us who are rebelling against the system in a way of making change and intentionally making sure that things are different from how they have been. No more performative activism. No more people having these speaking engagements and not doing anything afterward. Because to be honest with y'all, I'm going to these political meetings. I know most people are like, if I could show you all the emails that I haven't got replies to, I know most of them really aren't going to do much. If anything, what I'm doing is leaving a paper trail. What I'm doing is solidifying in black and white my intentions based on their positioning. Why would I go to them? Why would I talk to them? Why would I communicate with them what it is I have to offer? It's their job, right? Is it that their job? To listen to people like me and to implement. You don't have to implement exactly what I'm saying, but if you don't have a better idea, then why not? So the elder generation coming together is, y'all won't have a choice. Well, I don't know about your age, DJ Holiday, but the elder generation won't have a choice, because what's going to happen? Elder generation going to be in the nursing homes and in the homes being taken care of by their children. You're going to be ruled over the younger generation. The younger generation is going to rule over the elder generation. That's how it always works, isn't it? So by the time everybody in power retires, Generation Z and potentially Generation Alpha is going to be assisting them in some sort of way, professionally, socially, community-wise. So when the family dynamic is spearheaded by the younger people because everybody else is too old to do anything, old folks ain't gonna have no choice but to come together because we're telling them to. If you want your diaper wiped, if you want your, let me stop. I was finna go in, but they will have no choice. This is the time of righteousness. People love talking about the rhetoric of this is the age of information, this is the age of Aquarius, blah, 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 with your rhetoric. There will be no choice but to cooperate. So that's what I have to say on that. Freethinker said, I'm saying, do they say you have to have those trash degrees to be accepted? Your book. Oh, you know, that's the thing. It's the caste system. Because for some individuals, yeah, it's like you have to have a degree in order for us to listen to you, in order for us to take what you have to say into consideration. In my book, I'm teaching people not that. In my book, I'm teaching people that all you have to have is the will to implement strategy. And of course, your morals and humanity. So, because it's simply a way of producing income for yourself. Being a specialist in a certain area, most of the time, does not require a degree. There are certain people that you would want to have a degree. But, okay, when people complain about landlords, most landlords don't have college degrees. And if they do, it's not in real estate. It's not anywhere in real estate, architecture, development, nothing. You don't need a degree for those fields. 8 viewers and 8 likes. Okay, abundance. In other words, I'm asking whose hands do you have to shake to get your book in an actual school to replace the current? Your book equals a new righteous curriculum. All we need is group economics, but we too divide it. So I'm getting there as far as like who I gotta be around to implement that sort of thing. I actually just got started on that. So to answer your question, I actually have met and connected with those individuals outside of that one email that I read. I have sent other emails out to get those things implemented. They're not saying that I have to have a degree. That's the thing. It's not a verbalized thing. There's not an application and there's a check mark to say, do you have a college degree? That does not exist. So I'm going to keep persisting because that's not a guideline that I have to abide by. So, okay, I get what you mean. Free Thinker said, we practice group consumerism, but not group economics, right? Yeah, the young niggas. The YNs. Divinely said it's all about content, LOL. If it's a service we pay for, we should be able to provide input on what we want. Yes. Yes. Freethinker said diaper wipes, LOL. I was gonna kind of roast them. I was like, because we're not going to hold the old people hostage. But I was gonna say, if you want your butt wiped and your diaper changed, you gonna comply. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna take care of them. Okay? We're gonna take care of them. Freethinker says there will be no choice but to cooperate. I see what you did there. LOL. No, I didn't even do that on purpose. It's the fact you caught that. I didn't. I did not. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Y'all are hilarious. Nobala Kim Kadar Bay L. Much gratitude for being a member here on the channel. I want to hear more about the time of righteousness. What do you mean? Because this is the conversation. This is the righteousness. Implementing change in the education system is a major part of that. Divine Lisa, having a degree is evidence that you paid into their system. It's a receipt to show that you see something like education. I know principals and superintendents of school boards in my area, and I have a book I illustrated within their system. No college degree of art or illustration. Ooh, that's dope. Okay. When I email you, I'm going to put, dang it, I don't think I could put my email in the chat here. Can I do it? No. My email's on my page, though, in my description area. I'm going to email you, too, as well, but I want you to send me your book. Free Thinkers at LMAO for real. Landlords, dumb lords. I'm done. Mr. The New said, we don't need them. Divinely said, but did they take care of us? They made sure we survived. We can say that they are credited with our survival to an extent. Many of us did learn a lot of things on our own, which we should not have had to. Even in the home, outside of the educational system, the institutions, parents did not properly teach their children how to do certain things, like the conversation we were having about identity and sexuality and everything. If parents took the time to do that at home, they wouldn't even have to do that in the school system. However, because so many parents are neglectful as far as emotional care, as far as catering to their children, we have all this confusion. And then my thing is, When it comes to things like that, it's so easy for that rhetoric to be spread in the school system. But when it comes to stuff like we're talking about, specifically entrepreneurship, having a full comprehension of economics, having a wider spectrum of what it means to provide for oneself, it's almost no pushback on their end. It's almost no pushback when it comes to that type of indoctrination. But when we're teaching children about the options that they have, people go quiet and people don't really want to discuss it too much. And it's not even fully out of ignorance either. It's just, it's one of those things where you don't want to accept it, but it is just true. Well, since I didn't think of it, I don't want you to say it. But what's the point of inviting people and their ideas if you don't want to be introduced to new ideas that can be implemented? That's the issue with most politicians. Freethinker said, I ain't even gonna lie, I don't have a sense of direction of what exactly to do to help other than just cook, grow food, probably build things. Other than that, I'm the kid with the crutch picked last, with the crutch picked last. I don't know what that means, but I get the other part. Because you don't have any kids, so I get how it's kind of like, well, I'm looking on, I want to help, but I don't know what to do. That's fair. Engaging with platforms like ours is really, you're doing your job. That's the sad part. Even, we've talked about like what you have going on. You're already doing everything that you can possibly do as far as not being a direct parent yourself. All we will probably ask for is like assistance in numbers and people who do support what it is we're talking about. And once we get off the platforms, because that's the goal, that's the part that people be forgetting. Once we get off the platforms and more of us are in the faces of these politicians, more of us are on the street talking to parents, talking to teachers, talking to principals and administrators about these topics, that's when we'll look for more number support. Like, who supports what you're talking about? Then we have numbers of people. Because it's like, you don't have children right now. If you ever did decide to have children, you will want them to be learning the stuff we're talking about versus what's already there. And that's just the truth of the matter. As a hypothetical parent, you would want the educational system to be better. Even getting older as an individual, those who you're going to be working with, you still shop. You still have to buy things. You want the operators and engineers to be comprehensive in what it is they're doing. You want skilled individuals who actually have a passion for what it is they're doing. So I'm going to read this as well. I have sent this to those on the collegiate level. Okay. Hey there. Your humanities department and radio station may greatly benefit from Sulani Afro-American topics of innovation and community awareness topics of discussion. Your success as an academic facility may greatly expand, gathering more students, more donors, more sponsors, more local recognition by expressing thought forms from your educational luminaries. The students and featured educators and administrators in your sector could speak directly to students and faculty or the local media about the ideals of our firm. What we do, Marine Liquidity Fiduciary Flow, Private Equity and Research, is take the knowledge, information, and experience of small business owners and experts in fields from the perspective of Black American ladies. That information is used to express solutions to issues that Sulani citizens in the United States face on a daily basis. Our form of mass communication outside of our private archive and database is the Marine Flow blog. The Flow blog is a compiled format of essays from our writers, the ladies of our research team. The plight of Sulani Afro-American ladies tends to be the highlight of many media sources where our research team is solution-based and provides answers to questions that many in the African diaspora propose. While we ask that your school get subscription to our blog as a conglomerate academy account or independently for each professor or faculty member, or simply acquires individual essays on the topics discussed, we would greatly appreciate the debatable topics being discussed in the classroom and news. Without a subscription or full essay purchase, the amount of discussion that comes from essay excerpts on the blog causes polarizing conversation, encouraging thought-provoking contextual provisions. Take some time to explore our website. There is an app attached that can be utilized for free as well. The layout is simple and easy to use for all professors and students interested. So if you look in the description box, we've already been talking about this for a few months now with a private equity firm. So here I got my business cards. We getting official. I'm shaking hands, being in front of people. So we are getting this out there. This is deeper than just, because when people hear private equity, it's just like super, super business. But that's why it's a private equity and research firm. So ladies like myself, we are writing essays to be able to express things to the general public, in particular, our community, in order to fully express these applicable solutions. We're not just going to sit and say, we need better education. Teachers need better pay. Okay, everyone agrees with that. What is the education? And how is the pay going to be implemented? That's how these things need to be framed, rather than just saying we need this and we need that. Okay, cool. Over, what was that? 16 years? 16 years of $15.8 billion being implemented into the school system. Okay, cool. Let's do that 16 years again. But what we can do is, of course, take care of the teachers, take care of school supplies and things that the students and teachers need, and implement curriculums that are actually applicable to real life. So this is the example that I shared on Lee's platform, and I want y'all to know about it as well. This, I got this from the Federal Reserve Bank. There's homeschool options and public school options. So if you're interested, it's the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. And let me see. Okay, so you can download certain things for free from nyfed.org/comic books. And to get the physical copies, you can go to newyorkfed.org/outreach-and-education, okay, to get these full kits. I got like a whole classroom set. I could have got the homeschool version and just got enough for myself and my son, but I was like, no, I'm finna get this whole thing. I might give some of these out. Can't resell them, just give them out, okay? Be careful of that. It says it on there, no resale, not for resale, okay? And this is from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, Communications and Outreach, 33 Liberty Street, New York, 10045. So yeah, that's the address of them. So this is called A Story of Interest and Supervision. And the example that I gave was, this is in comic book format, okay? So the children already have it in a way of enjoying what it is they're seeing, because it's a comic book. So by implementing something such as, okay, pick your favorite comic book square and redraw it. So telling the students to draw these comics, this is an example, right? So someone who creates a curriculum, they would do this, and then the teachers can tell the students to do this. So draw your favorite comic square. The children, you know, they're learning about colors, and they're applying whatever colors are necessary for the picture to match the comic square. They're learning literature, because they have to write out the speech bubbles and the thought bubbles. And then this is a topic on economics, so that's social studies taken care of. So we already have art class, we have language arts class, we have economics, social studies class, and then this particular graph right here is principal and interest, and then there's one above it called simple versus compound interest, right? So you have these two graphs. That's math. That's math. So when you make everything related to every topic, right, then it's easier for a child to grasp the concept of what it is that's in front of them versus Johnny had 5 apples. Who is Johnny, and why does he have so many apples? He's not going to eat 5 apples today. Johnny ate 5 apples. Out of his 5 apples, how many apples does he have left? Why is Johnny eating 5 apples? When you could say something realistic like, Daquan have 5 cars. He sold 2 cars. How many cars does he have left? Daquan has 3 cars left. Every little black boy and girl could say, "Oh yeah, my cousin Daquan, he do be selling cars." They can say that. That's something real to them. So then when it comes to innovative topics of conversation and comprehension, things like interest rates and everything like that, that's how you teach them. Okay, good job. That's how you teach them versus something that's crazy. Or even if we're going to take Johnny and the apples. Johnny planted 5 apple trees. Then you could teach about agriculture and farming and gardening, huh?
Can he have something else, or is that it?
What do you want?
Like, since I finished a whole meal, can he have, like, some snacks or something?
Mm-hmm. Do you want a popsicle or you want a snack? You can have either one of those. Go ahead and just make your decision and get one. So, yeah. By relating it to all topics, rather than one singular topic that seems so out of range for someone, then that helps the comprehension level. Children love coloring and doing art anyway. So it's like, ooh, it's blue, ooh, it's green. Yay, I'm coloring. Then they have to write the words. You can get your chair. You got it. They can write the words, and then they're learning about the grammar, the punctuation, the spelling through writing the words themselves. It's really simple. And the fact that everything has been made so complicated is the reason why literacy rates have decreased. Comprehension rates, critical thinking skills have decreased over time. Even though over 16 years, 15.8 billion was put into the school system. Oh, I'm the kid with the crutch picked last. That's what you meant. You like basically crippled. I don't know why I didn't read that right at first. I don't know what the heck I was struggling with. Okay. Whatever you said after that, I get it now. I don't know why I was struggling to read that comment at first. Divine Lee said, and in those days, people will be given over to a reprobate mind, to do things that are inconvenient. Ooh, see, that's what I'm saying. Now the biblical context makes sense. Oh my gosh, this is the whole thing about spiritual and religious people too. Folks got to learn how to use the Bible correctly. Folks got to learn how to use any religious text correctly, because trying to debate people out of nowhere for no reason is actually the wrong thing to do. Like I said, it's demonic, actually, because that defeats the purpose of using a holy text to make a point. This is how you use a holy text to make a point. Freethinker said, yep, I hear you, and you get it. What do you know? What do you think these children need to know? The true history of what took place versus what we're lied to about. YouTube also teaches kids. I know my 17-month-old niece learns from Miss Rachel, white lady. Not that it's bad thing. Not that it's a bad thing, but because of her, she be running through the house saying objects she shows. LOL. Yeah. Divine Lee said, dope. Freethinker said, Miss Rachel, all she got to do is get DVDs made if she hasn't already, and she'll bank on that. But we need that for our communities, not being racist, but she happens to be a young white woman. Black women could do exactly what she does, but you know, there's some out there though. But the thing is, my niece literally only watches Miss Rachel. When I say she's addicted, OMG, just like we were with Steve Blue's Clues. I know I was a child, but I know I was as a child, not that I'm being racist. I'm just saying our community needs to be repaired. Ours is damaged the most. Divine Lee said, LOL, make it make sense. Freethinker said, I'll be making jokes you don't catch on to. LMAO. Always. Speaking parables, riddles, so you catch on later. Sometimes what I do is I rewatch my streams and I'll be listening to your comments. I'll be like, oh, he made a good point. Divine Lee said, LOL. So, yes. as far as ways to reach the children and ways like PBS Kids or the way that things like Coco Melon, Miss Rachel have been able to do, what's that girl name? Dang, see, that's what I don't like. I forgot her name. She's really popular too. And they're black cartoonists. That's the problem. I gotta remember her name. No. Because it's the veggie dance. I know the song. I do my veggie dance. I do my veggie dance. Is that one. I forgot her name. Oh my gosh. No, I don't like that. I'm struggling. Divine Lee said early learning with Lee. Okay, okay. Free Thinker said my niece will not hear nothing you saying when she come on. Gracie's Corner. Oh, I appreciate you so much. Oh my gosh. Gracie's Corner. Now that's real. All kids are like that. Like, don't talk to them about nothing unless it's food involved. When they got their entertainment on, you gonna hit me up with some snacks or some dinner. Don't talk to me. Gracie's Corner is one of them. There's another one too. It's like Super something. I haven't really watched her videos like that. And a lot of these, I'm not even in tune. I haven't watched the little kid videos since my son was really small. And those didn't exist when he was small. There's some more, they're just not as popular. And you're correct, they need to be more popular. More content like that needs to be more popular. Even the idea of selling in physical form needs to be more popular amongst our people, very specifically. I definitely agree with that. And that's why we have to teach entrepreneurship. People complain about layoffs, people complain about how hard it is to find a job, people complain about all those things. So introducing concepts that make entrepreneurship more simple to comprehend assists everyone. It assists everyone in a very literal sense. So the way that we teach, making things more comprehensive and more entertaining for children, rather than sticking them with worksheets that look like this. Why do second graders get worksheets that look like this for? Don't nobody want to read that. Don't nobody want to read that. Second graders want this. This is what second graders want. Second graders want comic books. Okay? They want pictures. They want small amounts of text. They don't want all that other crazy stuff going on. They don't want that. And we shouldn't force feed that to children. That's not okay. Sometimes it is. It depends on the situation. But everyday worksheets, just black and white sheets, and telling them to do the work on it. No, absolutely not. Children need to be in groups, coloring, and discussing amongst their peers what it is they're visualizing here, whether it's things about economics and then you're talking about the history thing. I think all history needs to be taught from the perspective of Black people. So whenever there's a topic at hand, some sort of biography or autobiography by a Black person needs to back that particular topic. Black History Month being condensed into February, even in the school system, does not make any sense. A Black person is behind every process everywhere, somewhere in the United States. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's the truth of the matter. So when it comes to every topic, we'll just say in history class, when people are learning about whatever industry that came up, whatever religious organization that came up, whatever community aspect, whatever way of technological advancements of anything, whoever is a Black person needs their biography or autobiography read to the children. They need to write essays and book reports on those. This shouldn't be everybody cosplaying as Martin Luther King, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., saying the I Have a Dream speech every February. No. Every day that someone learns something new, they need to learn what Black person was behind this. That's how I believe that should be addressed. I haven't spoken that to politicians as of yet. I have said that on my platform before. But that's how things need to be learned, because this other stuff that they're doing it's not okay. We need to actually open up our own public schools as well. There's ways to do it. Some people have charter schools, but making a public school to where it's not based on address zone or living space zone, and people can take their child to a public school that is catered directly to our people, that needs to exist as well, because it's it's sad out here. Free thinker said LMAO. Wait, what? Wait, another good question. I think. What do you think is needed? A physical school or online? Both. Both need to be integrated, because the thing about physical schools is not every teacher that lives in the vicinity is educated enough to teach on certain topics. Some topics are gonna have to come from a video course. They're gonna have to come from a live stream from someone who lives in a different physical location. So it's gonna have to be hybrid. It's gonna have to be both, whether they're learning online at the school or they do have some work that they have to do at home online. I think it should all be at the school building, and then they take home the, like, if they want the parents to also watch the videos from the digital teacher and to work on this certain work with them, that's different. But I think that most of all the work, even if it is online, should be done at the school. But it's going to have to be hybrid at this point in order for them to get certain expertise shared with them. Divinely Artist said, we making educational videos on early learning with Lee. Tune into my little one learning and having fun. Okay, let me keep that. Early learning with Lee. So that's spelled EARLEE. Learning with Lee, LEE. So that's their platform for that, y'all. Freethinker said, my sis can't afford daycare, so YouTube is the go. I agreed. Her situation prevents that. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. She got to learn. Cool, Lee. That's dope. Divine Lee said, we got our own educational clinic. Ooh, okay. Okay. Freethinker said, this is going to be a tough situation, I think, because I'm not trying to be racist, but non-blacks will say we're racist because we want our own education system. Oh, fuck them. We got HBCUs already, and I know a lot of those aren't necessarily owned by black people, but at the same time, it's like, we see that racism is still a problem. So if they're going out of their way to cause us problems, we're going to go out of our way to produce solutions. They can call us racist all we want. The thing is, the struggle we have is them trying to kill us all the time. So we just have to have an offensive tactic of enacting preventative measures from them trying to kill us, and then we'll be able to do whatever it is we're doing without that. That's why I have things structured in such a way now with the private equity firm. Ladies are writing essays for research, and then for all the males, the masculines that would like to join into the network to be able to partner, it's a hefty investment. It's about $11,000 now. So when we were all on the ground before doing everything, it was free for all, and there was there's a lot of compromised people because no one was gaining any income from what we were doing. So they would get money from other sources that would influence them to sabotage what it is we had going on. So movies like Judas and the Black Messiah, talking about the Black Panthers and Fred Hampton, what did Judas do? He sold out Yeshua for 30 pieces of silver. Jesus wasn't paying them. Yeshua was not paying the disciples. Judas got tired of being provided for, and he wanted money, so he sold out. And we have this constant repeated cycle of people selling out. So now we're providing the finances behind everything as well, so no one has a reason to sell out. The people who are doing certain things nowadays, they're completely demented. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's moral. But you can see why someone would do something for money, even if it's to the detriment of their own people. It's money. They're thinking short term. A lot of the people that have been encountering myself and others recently, you couldn't say why they're making their decisions. They're just demented. Even for myself personally, I presented business ideas to everyone who I was around so we all could make income. It wasn't just me asking people to do things out of the kindness of their heart 100%. So if I'm saying we can make thousands of dollars in a certain type of way, and all you got to do is listen to the system that I already did years ago, What's the incentive to go against me then? Okay. Free thinker say, yep, gotcha, as long as you get it. Example, I don't care about a white teacher, but we gonna not pretend they know more than our history. Feel me? I don't care, but I do care, but I'm for the truth. How you teach in this Black History Month, but it's a whole life. I'm not saying we're gonna provide the curriculum. So even if there are white teachers, the curriculum is the curriculum. And we can tell if the students are learning the curriculum that we set. I'm gonna leave it there on this public platform space where we're talking about this publicly. So yeah, I will also say this. We will intentionally hire our people. That's why I have a network. So by having the network set a certain way, it prevents a lot of those extra situations. That's why I said taking a offensive tactic with preventative measures rather than trying to defend ourselves all the time. That was the issue. That was the issue of Black people in America for the longest period of time. I just felt a whole lot in my crown chakra. I swear, talking to you always unlocks something because I didn't even realize what I did all the way. But you asking those questions helped me to unlock exactly what I did. We were always defensive, and I created a tactic to be offensive. That way we're prepared and ready for certain things to happen to prevent other issues. Free thinker said, gotcha, I was speaking code. Good, good. Facts, facts, facts. But this has gone on for a little minute. Much gratitude to the 8 viewers and 8 likes here. Yes, abundance. And we're going to continue having these conversations. I just needed to speak on this because it's not that I'm tired of this stuff happening. It's the fact that I've put in work, my own blood, sweat, and tears into helping everyone actively as an activist. At this point, I ain't no more activism of trying to educate our people and tell them what they should be doing. I'm just finna do it. I'm just finna put it on them. Yep. Because this, what's happening is not okay. We know that it's not okay. Enough change has not happened and issues have progressed. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. So I am in position to focus on this wholly, and that's what I'll continue to do. If you all would like to support, if you don't have anything to directly add to what it is I'm doing and you would like to support me in some sort of way, then memberships are open. They start at 99 cents. Also, you can support my business, and that is linked in my description bio area. So any product, digital product, physical product, whatever the case may be, by supporting my business, that's how you can support me and my mission and what I'm doing. You will also receive some sort of educational tool to help you. So yeah, if that's all the comments, oh my gosh, it's just really exciting. And I'm very happy that this is happening right now because there's so much that I have to tell you, Lee, that I've already been doing. So when you propose the question on a very direct, like, what can we do sort of basis, and I'm like, what's your email address? I'm like, look, I have so much to tell you. I have so much to say because it's all happening right now. And it's just, again, much gratitude to all the masculines that are serious about this work individually, working with others, because it's just so much out here. And back to the example too of, you know, the gentleman coming into the stream earlier and talking about the Bible without context of the situation. How you respectfully held him accountable for what it was that he was doing rather than encouraging that behavior, because we have a lot of situations where just because someone is a Black man, their behavior is encouraged. It's like, oh, he's speaking the Bible, he's speaking the truth. Yeah, Khan, yeah. It's like, that was inappropriate what he was doing. And directly stating that to him and to the audience that you don't condone the behavior, that was very responsible. And we need that in every context. You know, we got the oiler out here and people taking up for him. How? So, education, holding each other accountable, and implementing the strategies necessary. Because what I've said, history, backing up everything that they want to teach in history with some sort of biography and autobiography of an African American, that's cleared. Every sort of math problem is also structured in a certain way to where it's children learning multiple things at once. They're learning language arts by the way that the math problem is read out to them. That particular literature that they're reading for the math problem is based on something applicable to life. Then, we get into more things like science, and then that's more curated for whatever it is that's happening in science. We have technology even. So, learning, I spoke about Web3 and trading. That's all technology. So, yeah. We will continue these conversations. I think that's the turn that my channel is kind of taking now. I've been talking about education a whole lot. That's also linked in the description as well. I've spoken on this, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. And here we are now, at this time, speaking on it again in a different context and format with more details. When Wortman said, "Is the stream still up?" That looks dilly. Is the stream still up? Is this okay? I'm assuming you mean is the stream still up that Lee did? Yeah, we just got off stream right before I started mine. He was on his. That's why I was late. I was like, I don't know, almost an hour and a half late because I was on his stream. So yeah, it's on his channel where we were discussing. He showed certain examples. He shared his experience being a school teacher and a father, and continues to push certain things to whether it's his audience or to his students. Freethinker said that should be the conversation every day. Actually, education for youth, economics for us, followed up by the youth. Yeah, like I said, I feel like that's the turn that my channel is taking, and I'm here for it. If this is the way we're gonna close out me being here on this platform and not being on social media in 2025, I'm here for it. So, hey, I appreciate y'all for being in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Let's all reflect on this. Let's wake up tomorrow and see if we're going to be able to do anything about this in a direct way, or who to connect with, who is acting on these things, seeing how they can support, or seeing how we can support them, how we can help them, how we can share ideas with them in order to get the ball rolling. Because a lot of us have some stuff in store. Like I said, I do have my homeschool kits that are already available for people to purchase. If someone wants to homeschool, they can buy it. Even if someone's not fully homeschooling and they just want it for the summertime, they can buy it. So that's already there. Translating that concept for the public school system, that's already in process. So we're working. And it's not just me. I've been in communication with many. It's not just me. It's many of us. We are working. We are serious about this work. No performative activism. And I feel like everybody who's a performative activist needs to get kicked in the nuts. Or if they're a female, just, I don't know, something needs to happen to them. Stop talking on these platforms if you're not doing anything off camera. What's wrong with y'all? Stop doing that. Stop accepting, it's the money. Because they accept money, they accept the clout, they accept the ad revenue, they accept the donations, and they just talk on a camera. Leave everybody alone if you're not doing nothing for real. Or at least use your platform to put the people who are in action, put us on your platforms. How about that, okay? If you're gonna talk on your platform, at least put the people who have some motion off of camera, put them on the platform, okay? Have to get kind of raunchy there. I have to get a little serious. Freethinker says salutes. Also dietary too. Winging kids off processed foods and stuff. The grow food area with ice skates. Ouch. With ice skates. Oh my gosh. With ice skates. Dang, not getting kicked with ice skates. I'm finna go. Because that would hurt both. It don't even matter which gender. It will hurt every gender with ice skates. Dang. Oh my gosh. That's what it is. If you're a performative activist online and you're not actually doing anything off of camera, you need to get kicked in the groin with ice skates. Yep. He said, LMAO done. Ah. Okay. Shalom, Raina Coins. I will see you in the next one. Tawara. And that means thank you in Hebrew. Oh, he said I'm a fool. I'm done. You're too funny, bro.